The Bunker Project, podcast episode number 47.
Hey, you got it right this time. Excellent.
Yeah. Welcome back to another episode of The Bunker Project. We're here live to hard drive in the den, and we promise not to talk about the riots.
Oh, see, you went and do it already. Unbelievable. Okay.
Okay, I lied. You can talk about it for about
2 minutes.
3 minutes.
We actually talked about it. Should we talk about it? Is it old news? By the time this podcast comes out, it'll be like a month, right? So for all of you that heard about the riots, there was some riots in Vancouver, yada, yada, yada. There's some videos and stuff. Check out our other shows. That's it. Okay, so we got that done?
Yeah.
Am I digressing too quickly away from the riots? Anybody have any comments on the riots? No? Okay, excellent.
Well, the one thing I would say is that the riots was caused by this mob mentality on the streets, but then afterwards we had a mob mentality on the internet, and there was some line crossing on both ends. And I think that when it comes down to, shaming people that were guilty of what they did, sure, that's fine. But when it's the parents of somebody or people having to move because their family's being threatened, that's where the line is drawn.
Yeah, well, that's mob mentality using Facebook.
Exactly.
Well, I don't agree with the threats, but, those people knew what they were doing.
No, but it's more the parents, the people that weren't even at the riot and stuff like that.
Bad parenting.
Yeah, but...
it's a slippery slope, man. I mean, you could be the best parent in the world, and your kid can be totally screwed up, and you could be the most screwed up parent in the world, and your kid can be righteous, right? So, I'm not saying it's 100% the kid's responsibility and stuff like that, but really, if your kids are going to go out and going to go partying, and let's not even talk riots. They get involved with a swarm, which was a big problem here in Vancouver. Oh, Joe's having a party, and 1,500 kids turn up to another kid's place, and the place gets trashed, and stuff gets thrown through the window. That is a problem with crowd mentality. And you're there, and I was just talking with a group the other day, and I was basically saying that if you have a crowd mentality or sheep mentality, is the scientists have studied it, and the actual intellectual level of the crowd drops based on how many people are involved. So,
well, there's all sorts of studies, but that you're still accountable for your actions. And I've got no problem with using social media to tag these guys and then let the police do their jobs. But it's a totally different story when you start threatening people and threatening their families.
Well, it's not your job. That's the police job.
Yeah, but didn't you think that Vancouver was kind of threatened by people acting so stupid?
True.
I mean, downtown, it kind of felt.
And that's why everyone was outraged. But the whole point is, are we as a society condoning the mob mentality to create this witch hunt and actually go after people that had nothing to do with it?
Yeah, if
Bob went out and was riding, and he said, "Hey, your co-host was riding."
I kind of like vigilantism, though. I think we should all get on our horses, get our 6-shooters.
Make a great game. Make a great game.
Bob didn't ride. He went out and he captured an awesome video.
But
it was a riot.
Show.
It was a riot, though.
And if you haven't seen the video, it's in our.
It's crazy how close you got to some of that stuff. I'm surprised they didn't.
Well, okay, I have an unfair advantage because I was a professional journalist for many years, so. I knew, I went in there and I just clicked into journal mode. And I was like, oh, yeah, police, I can shoot them. I knew what my rights were as a journal, even though I don't carry a card anymore. I know to speak. Actually, what was very interesting, I didn't put this on the video, there was about 5 or 6 cameramen with this really nice video equipment. A little old, but anyways. And they were all cowering in a corner. They didn't know what to do. They had never been... obviously Vancouver Press. They'd never been in a scenario where there was this... riot police and flames and all this scary stuff going on. They weren't hiding, but they were basically, this looks really scary. And I just walk up to the police and take the picture and just do your thing and then walk away.
But he had the cloak of invisibility there.
Yeah, because I'm really short.
I was going to say, because he probably was naked.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. People were not looking at my camera. That's for damn sure.
They were looking at Eric, right?
Yeah, well, actually, we did. I went down with Eric and Andrew, and we hiked down because the show got closed early, and so I didn't have anything to do. We all just, okay, you guys going to go split, and I didn't want them to be with me because then I couldn't have done what I did, because,
Well, after our bartender was freaking out, Ashley was saying, "Bob says he's going to take pictures. He's going into the riot." And she was like really upset. And I'm like, "Oh no, he's just going home. He's just going home. Don't worry." And then I get up in the morning on Facebook and I see this elaborate video, really well produced, awesome video outlining the.
He's getting a percentage apparently for this because he's plugging the heck out of it.
Great video.
That's a lot of riot coverage.
8,000 views so far.
There was a very interesting comment you made about the size and the amount of people of a mob that brings down the intelligence, and I hope no one else shows up to the podcast tonight.
I know.
I got to figure out how to order beers after this one.
I know. I think we're at about grade 6 level at this point. Jeez. Anyways, enough about the riots. I mean, everybody's got sensory overload on that thing. Even though it was a big riot, it wasn't that big a deal. And I think that the biggest culprit here was the real media, the TV stations and the radio stations were going nuts on it. Same thing happened in LA during the riots. It was 11 blocks. There was some death and a lot of burning going on. I was in Tokyo at the time, and people saying on the news, like, "Oh, LA is burning." No, it was 11 blocks, guys. There was people in LA that I knew. I called up the next day and said, "Well, what riot?" I was at a party. I missed it. What happened? So it was a very small section of the town, but they're trying to sell papers and advertising. So
sensationalism sells.
It's super sensational. That's the problem with media these days.
NBC sure got their share of the Stanley Cup.
But of course,
stuff, hey, because like, What did Fox do for us? Well, I don't know. I just thought it was funny how like the TV stations probably benefited. It's like, and we have a hockey game, which is violence, and now, oh look, there's more violence.
Bonus. Brought to you by GM.
One more thing I'd like to add before we close off this thing is that the next day, thousands of people showed up to clean up the city
using Facebook and Twitter.
And and in addition to
that, they didn't clean up the city physically using Facebook and Twitter. They organized themselves using social media. For all you people who don't understand what social media is.
11,000 in a day.
I like the cop car that got
and then the
noted to death.
Sign in the wall, which is now going to be put up as somewhere by the art gallery or something like that, which is pretty cool. But I was on on Sunday. I was on a show, the Niche Prof, the School of Social Marketing, talking about podcasting with Ron Capps and Ken English.
Not to drop any names.
And they no, of course not. And they said, we were talking about Hootsuite and all the things that are happening in Vancouver, Empire Avenue, and things like that.
Well, that's Edmonton.
And then he said...
Sorry, I get to do the facts today. It's awesome. Now I know Andrew feels like all the time when I say stuff. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Anyways, so he was saying that, it's good to hear that there's a lot of good stuff happening up in Vancouver other than riots. And then so I explained what happened the next day and all that, and he said, well, down in Miami and here in the Midwest, we didn't... hear any of that. We just saw the news, all the negative news, and it's good to hear that there was some positives. So
that's true everywhere.
Yep.
I was in the Bangkok coup, and that was much more exciting because they had tanks, and we were driving around in taxis, going to this bar we used to hang out to get the TV and stuff because we knew there was going to be looters, and we were the only taxi driving in the city. We had to give this guy the biggest tip. So every time we saw a tank, he would go down an alley, but you just got to deal with reality.
That was you in Tiananmen Square.
No, that actually is my drinking buddy. We were back at the bar.
You gave him the flower.
He lost the bet.
He was the one under the tank. Actually, his friend was in front.
Yeah.
All right. Well, why don't
we got more black beer?
Why don't we do a quick round table and get everybody introduced, and then we'll move on.
Okay. So we're doing a quick round table, so everyone knows who the Mavens are here tonight. We're going to start out with Bonnie, the Twitter Maven. Jump right in there, Bonnie.
At B. Sainsbury, the Twitter Maven, and I wasn't here for my 3rd Twitter anniversary. So in people years, that's, I don't know, like 106 or something.
Well, in Twitter years, that's about 5,000 years.
It is indeed, yes.
Happy Twitterversary.
Congratulations. Thank you.
So what the heck does that mean, by the way? What is a Twitter?
It means I'm older than everybody in the room.
Oh, not quite. Satomi Hirano. And I just discovered this great website, the Zoomers. That's the baby boomers that were the main youth market 30 years ago. So now I'm a Zoomer. Feels so good.
I think that site is actually run by Bob's friend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So he was actually at the Bunker Project about 10 episodes ago.
I like them Zoomers.
Yeah.
Zoomers.
And we got
So, hi.
There's the German maven again. My name is Astrid, and nice to be here tonight.
Hey, tell us about those great, cool white headphones you got on. What's with that?
Come on. That's not so fashionable. It's just easy to wear.
It was a good price, though. What?
Yes.
They work good? Good
Yes,
sound?
cool.
Clean? Yeah?
And cool for music.
And you look cool.
Thank
Go
you.
well with your
That's
hair,
cool.
right? Because she's got the
Yes.
big fuzzy hair and you got the white globs with the fuzzy. We'll post
You're
a
curious
picture.
about my hair all the time.
Hey, what do we got? We got Ian. I guess he would be the save a ton of money in buying a car maven.
Yeah, that would be me. Teaching people how, obviously, to save money buying cars. Freecarbuyingtips.ca. Get the free info.
Oh,
Save
man.
thousands.
Okay, by the way, we get a residual for every car that he sells, so everybody buy a car right away because
Yep.
I need some more money.
And he's got the inside scoop. He's been in the industry for years.
Hey, awesome. And we have a new bartender here tonight. Did you want to jump in on one of these mics and say hi?
How you guys doing tonight?
I mean, just jump. You gotta jump right into that mic. Just introduce yourself.
My name's Eric, and I'm serving black beer tonight.
Excellent.
Well done.
And I'll have one
This
more.
guy's
too.
good. He's good. Excellent. Right. Suddenly a round of black beers goes out. All right. He knows how to work the bar. All right. So with Elvis impersonator Maven, I think we're going to have to change
Yes,
it to.
thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I am the gaming maven, known as James Karg, I guess is my real name.
Yeah, but who cares about that?
Who cares? It's
Yeah.
Twisted_magic. MAJIC.
I like to use the G because
he puts the
people
J
In magic.
In magic.
What does J stand for?
James.
Oh. God, I you know,
But
I'm going to
also-
give you a few I'm going to send you one of my
It
PDF
also
brochures on
stands for something
branding.
else.
But I also found
we
out
can't
that
talk about that on
the way
the
that I
show.
spell magic also apparently is the old way they used to spell the Majestic 12. So,
With a J.
yeah,
Okay, I wonder what that J standed for.
yeah. So if people are interested,
point.
look up Magic 12, and then you'll be like, oh, that's weird.
Hey, we'll put that on our show notes.
Yeah, it's weird.
Somebody
Aliens.
remind me to do that, by the way.
Well, I'll be
'Cause
Don't worry,
I'll be
we will.
often. I'll listen to the show a couple of months later. It's like, oh, I forgot to do that. Thanks for reminding me, Bob. 2 months later. All right. Who else? Oh yeah. Hey, we've got our chapeau maven. All right, Jumla maven.
Oh, well, that's French.
Jumla.
You swore at me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know,
I've
you
been-
deserve it.
I've been accused of being the hat maven or the web maven.
And he didn't want that name, and he shows up in this funky green hat.
Yeah,
But he always
because
wears
I was mad. The last podcast that I missed, you were talking about them
Hats.
things over in England that were causing all the distractions over here.
Oh, you mean the RW? The RW with their funky hats.
I got to say though that I'm here today because in retaliation, almost here in defiance
Excellent.
against the game maven and a disparaging comment I heard about.
You know what? I'm going to call you the Howard Cosell maven because that's exactly what you sound like. It's awesome. Disparaging.
I love that.
Awesome
That'll
word.
work. I'm going to work on that one. But
Anyways.
I heard this comment from the Gaming Maven several episodes back about Black Ops players basically being
Wimps.
30-year-olds 420 all day long. And I'd like to say
And they
some
wear
of us
jammies
are
all
over
day long.
40.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but you know, you're not the ones yelling stuff at me and things like that.
And being mean and making him cry
At the break, you're going to get a tongue lashing.
if he's lucky.
Whoa.
But most Black Ops players that play before 3 o'clock in the afternoon are over 30.
Really think? Well, isn't there this amazing stat that like 80% of game players are like 50 or 60 years old?
30.
You mean I got the senior tour to look forward to?
You'd be lucky.
Well, you gotta
Those
do-
guys are wicked.
You got to do something when you retire.
Yeah. And we have a special guest in here. Dude, you just jump right up on that mic and give us your name and what you like to do. Got really tight on the mic.
Okay.
Tighter.
My name is Jackson. I guess I'm a gamer too.
Excellent. What type
Sweet.
of games are you into?
Differs. Doesn't.
So what's the hottest game right now to impress girls?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I know. It's a tough question for...
Not really not.
No?
No.
Angry Birds is
That's
a good...
fun game.
Yeah? So I like... I mean, you're still going to college, university, school, one of those type of keep you busy things.
Yeah.
And so out of all the games and gaming activity, which is the most popular game right now?
I've been playing either Halo Reach or Black Ops lately a lot.
Really?
Yeah. I just recently got a 3DS. I've been playing the Ocarina of Time again.
Uh-huh.
It's a really fun game.
So I'm wondering, do the schools give you credits now? Why not, man? I mean, geez, that would be like, that is a big career now. I mean, they should be, if you're good at gaming and understanding gaming and the social, whatever those words are that James uses sometimes, about the psychology of how people interact in the games.
Yeah, they don't actually appreciate it at all. They're blocking out every website possible they can get at.
Wow. Oh, well, it's the educational system takes. Oh, that was just the beer arriving, by the way. If that's nice sound effects we slipped in there. All right, cool. Thank you very much. We'll drop back and see you a little bit later in the show. So let's just jump right in there with a really boring topic nobody want to talk about. Let me find a really good one here.
Yeah, but can we talk about what Jackson just brought up, though?
Okay.
Come on.
Go ahead.
All right,
steal
let's
my show.
do it.
But you have a really good point there, Bob. I
Which
think
one?
That,
the boring stuff?
No, using games is like a teaching mechanism. I think that's something that'll...
Or mobile devices.
Mobile devices. I mean, yeah. Like, if you get them to play like a game of Civilization, you'd learn more about history probably than you would from a textbook.
Well, you certainly learn how to build a civilization.
It's kind of accurate. I mean, you get to choose your own prophet. So if Jesus shows up, you get a super building and things like that. So.
Wow, so it's Christian biased.
It doesn't really matter.
So what happens if you build a Gandhi, right? It's like,
it's more mythology based than anything, right? So they don't kind of segregate.
Well, it's true. It builds interest and understanding of rudimentaries, and then if they read a history book, they have something to relate to. So, oh, wow, I saw this in a game. This is a cool book. But hey, whatever gets them reading.
I've as a parent and Jackson's father, and I'm a gamer as well. I look at games almost as interactive books. Now he's a big reader as well. He loves to read. But we do learn in games like Assassin's Creed, for instance, which has a very rich history in the 1600s.
Yep, what went
Italy,
down, yep.
You meet Leonardo da Vinci. Sure, you throw knives and you assassinate, but the historical accuracy is incredible. Yeah. And by the way, to all you parents that have gaming children, one of the biggest things that I insist on is that I'm present. I supervise. Even if they are annihilating people with shotguns and sticky grenades and knives, you bring the reality around to that, and you're present, and it makes a big difference. And I feel much better with my son taking on these games if I'm there. And I'm explaining, or we discuss it from time to time about the carnage. Mm-hmm. It's not real. It's, sticks and left stick and right stick.
Well, a lot of Black Ops is actually based upon historical events, but you get to play as a guy kind of in those historical events, right? Like the Cuban Missile Crisis is quite a bit of the backdrop, and facing off against the Koreans of, Black Ops. I think it's Korea.
Well, and that's very true. And even I think even extrapolating that, and you get into things like Homefront, and Jackson was explaining, it's Korea that takes over the world.
Yeah.
It actually kind of all makes sense.
Well, didn't they do that with Samsung? Well, they certainly took down Sony. Jeez. Hey, actually, speaking of games, and I've been reading an amazing book. It is not a terrible segue, but anyways, it was.
Was it on an e-reader?
Yeah, no.
An audio book?
It's an actual physical book with pages and stuff. They're kind of cool. And actually, I found this building full of them the other day. They called a library or something like that.
Bibliothèque.
Anyways, it's called The Diamond Age by anybody read The Diamond Age by Neil Donaldson?
I think I've heard of it.
Oh my God, an amazing book! It'll blow your mind. Totally blow. This guy's a great
talked
writer.
about that in the last episode.
Well, that's how good. It's a thick book. It takes me a long time to read. Actually, this book I've been reading and like 50, 60 pages without falling asleep. That's how good it is. I'm usually good for 4 or 5 pages, and boom, I'm out. So that's how good it is.
You should check in on to that book on Get Glue, and that way we could know what you're reading.
Oh, I thought doing glue before reading
No,
books.
no.
Sorry.
Get Glue is this new. It's almost like a social network thing, but you sign up for it. You can.
Did you get Glue?
Yes.
Yeah. Is that like Goodreads?
No, it's you can basically say I'm checking in to watch a TV show, movie, book, topic, celebrity, whatever you're really interested into. You get badges over time.
Gamification.
It's very gamification, but you get stickers and.
Hey, I'd like to
think I
talk
signed up
about
for that,
stuff
but I
like
haven't
that.
done
And you can
anything
share
with
it on Facebook and Twitter. So.
That's a good segue. I'd like to talk about gamification. The over gamification of everything. It's kind of like the marketers go, hold it, ooh. Let's do something that's semi-related to gaming and put a badge, and now we've gamified it.
That's badgification.
Badgification.
That's not gamification.
So what's the difference between badgification and gamification?
Well, badgification is just rewarding stuff.
Like becoming a mayor.
Well, not even becoming a mayor. I mean, Foursquare, and I can't remember who it is, but somebody else just joined up. American Express and Foursquare just joined together to offer you an opportunity. If you check into places and use your air miles, you get rewards.
Nice.
So that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, because everybody's going to copy that concept. Now, there's the whole thing with the classic marketing. Nobody will do it, and then one person will do it, usually a big name. They'll get all the credit, and then everybody's going to jump on board. And it's a mess, just like
Groupon.
Groupon.
But
The wannabe Groupons.
But that's still not gamification. That's just checking in and saying where you are.
Right. Well, so what's the difference between gamification and badgification? I mean, obviously, badges is you get like, here's a little badge, here's a reward.
By definition, a game is something...
that has a goal?
Yeah, it's a goal. Like
so a game has to have more to it than
just have a storyline.
If you're really interested in gaming and you really want to read about it, check out
Bounty Island.
Hey, that's by a friend of mine named Mac Flavel, who local Vancouver-based developer.
You know, we're making a lot of money on residual income on this show. I can just
Bounty
tell you
Island's
that right
really
now.
cool, though.
Absolutely. Buy it through our website.
But that's actually, they do a game in that. So say you checked into the Bunker Project here through Bounty Island. It gives you a little map, and you have energy, so you can explore your map, find treasures.
Until you run out of energy.
Until you run out of energy, and then you can buy stuff. And it's getting more... It was started off as like a check-in thing. Now it's getting deeper. It's a decent experience, and you should check it out.
That actually, that kind of reminds me of another book I read called The Game or something like that, and it was basically about, I think you read that one, and it was about a woman that did these massive online games that also used reality, and like a community, guys that are building a community would go to those guys and say, we want you to promote our community, and they would build a huge online and offline game where you'd build teams, and the clues would be somewhere in London, England, and you would have to team up with people in London, part of that community.
I keep meaning to read that because
awesome book.
You mentioned that like
game,
I think in episode 5 you talked about
go back
that.
to episode 5 and you can find out the name of the book. It's a treasure
hunt. No, it's
hunt.
called The Game. It's called The Game.
Okay,
Isn't
well,
it?
there you go. I can't remember. It's way more than a week ago. So you know,
but yeah,
I flushed my RAM. So
I've got to order that on my Kobo.
But a lot of games have an actual goal. I mean, there are some games that have absolutely no goal. But
yeah, so I just had to jump in there. You hear that? He just mentioned his Kobo. So how long have you had this Kobo, Andrew, and do you like it?
A couple of weeks. It's great.
I mean, that's all you get it out of his
got
system.
Got some library books on it and everything.
But if you really want to look at like the deeper meaning of games and things like that, there was a guy named Roger Calois that wrote this thing called The 14 Forms of Fun. And if you read that, you can find... can't remember how many. I think it's 7 of it. Then it's actually a game. So
really,
yeah.
Well, there you go.
But don't try and use that for gamification necessarily because it might not work. But some of the stuff might.
What about Ender's Game? How many people have read Ender's Game?
I've read Ender's Game.
Oh, awesome!
Eric got me into that game. That's a great game.
That's
a great book.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to do gamification, find an expert, game designers, or somebody that actually knows what they're doing.
Yeah, someone like Twisted Magic,
or a loyalty expert, or
Twisted
things like that.
Magic.
Yeah, a lot of people it's a new frontier. We're learning as we go. I mean, nobody's officially an expert of gamification yet, and if they say they are, it's that they're trying to be that expert.
Hang on, so we're having Ian is demoing some games, or
he's showing Bounty Island. He's exploring it
on his iPad. Ooh, that nice interface! Look at that. I can even read it from here. What a screen!
The bunker is 7 meters.
What's the resolution of that screen? That's just a crystal clear. Sorry, we're not getting money from all these sponsors that we're mentioning.
There's no weird.
By the way, this Okanagan Black beer is really good.
Can we need a distraction?
Oh, okay.
A digression, yes.
Digression.
Okay,
yeah. Or a
distraction. I need a drink. We played
that was way too serious or way too long, and I'm dry.
Sorry. Okay, so I have a question.
All right, Bonnie, go for it.
I want to know the deeper meaning of Angry Birds.
It's angry chicks, actually. When it was something to do with a big fight a guy had at a beach once.
That contains destruction, which
we won't even go there.
I know.
So when you mean the deeper meaning of Angry Birds, what do you mean, Bonnie? Like,
well, I mean, you were pontificating.
You got to be right.
You were pontificating about gaming, And
The
so
deeper meaning of
gaming
the
to
game.
me is Angry Birds. I'm sorry, Pong.
Yeah.
And then I just went into a big black hole until Angry Birds came along. No, there was one sort of game about building a civilization that I played once in the middle.
Civilization.
I probably said no.
I think
There
someone
was
should come
several
up with a
games that
game
I like
SimCity?
that. Oh,
Yeah.
SimCity.
SimCity.
That was
Okay.
a nice easy one.
So
I
there
like
was
that.
Pong,
I like the Godzilla.
SimCity,
Yep.
and then Angry Birds.
Yeah.
And that's
Oh, Sim. Yeah.
Those are all good games. I mean,
right. So I'm just thinking games. When you say games, I think Angry Birds, and I'm just wondering what the deeper meaning of Angry Birds is.
The deeper meaning for Angry Birds is a
I think
bunch
that,
of guys made a lot of
well,
money.
Angry Birds has competition elements in it because you're competing with your friends or yourself against the world leaderboards.
Plus, you get the real physics,
Yeah.
so you really feel
Plus
like you're
there's
destroying stuff.
Destruction
So,
is definitely one of those sort of things.
It's addictive.
It's fun. I don't know. You can't really quantify fun.
well, and it's fast.
And it's
you
very
can,
fast,
You know,
yeah.
one of the things I have trouble with, like poker games, it's like they
Slow.
take forever to play, but you can speed them up, and it's like tick-a-ding, tick-a-ding, tick-a-ding. The problem is, I can play 30 or 40 hands in like 2 or 3 minutes. And now I play real poker with guys. And I say, come on, guys, let's go. It's been like 30 seconds. Nobody's done a move. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, Buck Dang
I think
is...
that
You should just bring
somebody-
your mouse with you when you go poker gaming in real
he doesn't like it. You
Someone
know, it
should
puts him off
make a
his cheese.
version of Angry Birds where you can like tag the bird and attach anybody's face you want on the bird, and then
Oh,
fire
angry
it.
Facebook. Yeah.
Then you whoever you're angry at, you can put their face on
I
there.
kind of think that Angry... Now, I know this is a really silly thing, but I kind of think that game's based upon just common war, though.
Well, it's based on that
Artillery.
the game that came
Basically,
out
yeah.
before, the one where you actually knocked down a real castle. It came out way before, about
Artillery,
3 or 4
yeah.
months.
Yeah. But, I mean, if you look at the deeper
Like
game...
20 years.
It could have been, the Hatfields versus the McCoys, or...
Yeah, well, they had
like
cute
that.
birds, though. You know, the variety birds. I like the big, fat, red one, man. He could just take out amazing
And they got a good
stuff.
theme song and good music, good sound effects.
It's
Great.
just a beautiful-looking piece of art.
Yeah,
I
very,
was playing it on
yeah.
my Chrome.
Well done, too.
Chrome app the other day.
It's pretty easy to hack.
Well, let's do a quick survey. How many people in the room have played Angry Birds? Out of the 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 people, we got 1, 2,
What?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The guy with an iPad
So
hasn't
6
even
out of
played
9.
Angry
So
Birds.
more than 50%, like 64% of people. How about that for
Run on an iPad?
if we include the bartender, it'd be like 70.
It's originally for the iPhone and iPad.
Yeah, well, I like
How many?
I like it on Android because it's free.
How many people have
It's not
finished it?
$4.99. It's free.
The first
Have
one?
finished the game. Yeah,
I
the
finished,
first one.
I
Yeah.
finished Angry Birds
How can it
Rio.
is like
Yeah.
8,000 levels?
Yeah.
I mean, it goes on and on and on and on. Oh my God, it's ridiculous. I mean, they got the turkey version, and they get the bunny version, and they get the original, and the original with the Playboy ones. Maybe you haven't seen that one yet.
The Playboy version.
Oh, you haven't
of
seen
Angry
that one,
Birds.
yeah. It's Angry
You just
Bunnies.
gave me an idea.
Angry Bunnies, it's called.
Yeah, I was
And you
thinking
shoot
about
it and
the.
pieces of their clothing fall off.
I was thinking about the Angry Bunker Project, and we can work it out with the bunnies, and there would be great.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you going to
Angry
program it in
Bunker dudes.
HTML5?
No,
No
HTML6.
Flash.
Yeah, then we're going to flog it only on the iPad.
That's not practicing safe.
It works nowhere.
No,
But
no
hey, how
Flash
come
is
no-
coming to the iPad.
Oh,
It's
damn.
already...
I've always wanted to put an iPad out
Not to
called
my iPad.
Flash. And you put it up and nothing happens. It just is like, download Flash function,
Not to
download
my
Flash
iPad.
function. And nothing works. I paid
That
99
should be
cents
the
for
type-
this.
It already came to the iPad. It was called a BlackBerry Playbook.
That should
Oh, Andrew's going to
harsh.
get really angry with you.
that should be the title of this episode. Not to my iPad.
Oh, man.
But recently, Adobe said that they're going to have Flash on iPad. They finally said the war is over.
Notice that came from Adobe, not Apple.
yeah, not Mr.
You
Jobs.
could always port Flash over to the iPod. And
I mean, but there was apps that kind of mimicked it.
The original answer for Flash on the iPad was someone had actually created up a proxy server and ran Flash on it. So you'd actually connect through your iPad to that server
Yeah,
and
and
run
then-
the Flash on it.
Yep.
Which, of course, didn't work very well either.
It works on iPhone pretty well, actually.
Come here and say that.
They started initially was
Yeah,
free.
hold me
There were
back.
so
Somebody
many
hold me
people
back.
using it that they actually started charging for it.
yeah, now you just have to push it out as an error project, and you get it
Very
on.
funny, actually.
Yeah, I got a quick question here.
But that was a huge
phone
digression.
cameras. I mean, we're going to get off games for a little
Major
bit, guys.
digression.
Phone cameras. How many people use a standard camera or don't even bother anymore because they've got a 5 megapixel camera in their iPhone or Android and stuff like that? Does anybody actually have a standalone camera just for taking pictures? And how often do they use it? Yeah, exactly. You may have it sitting on your desk and say, "Oh, I'm going to go so-and-so's birthday party or whatever," but 99% of the time, you've got it in your pocket with your iPhone and stuff, and the cameras are pretty good.
Yep, they're good. We have a good camera. I think it's an 8 megapixel camera. It takes really good pictures. But I always have my phone. So if I take a picture, it's more likely going to be with my phone. It changed a little when Mateo was born because now we carry the camera around just
everywhere
because of that. But
Well, it's interesting that the conversation about that would be, where is the media used? So when we're using media from our handheld convenient devices with potentially lower grade than standalone, we're using those in the social media aspect prevalently, obviously Facebook, Twitter, all of that. When we're doing the standalones, now we're talking about sharing that with high quality. We want high quality out of those. We pull that out to take the photo of the kids and whatnot. But obviously it's probably more like 1,000,000 to 1 in uses.
yeah,
Right?
well, I mean, the old saying was even when we had the 0.3 megapixel cameras, and people said, "Well, what good is that?" The answer was, "Well, your best camera is the whatever one you happen to have on you when you need
Yeah.
it."
It's here and now.
Yeah.
Exactly,
So,
exactly.
But now the difference is that we've got 5 megapixel, 8 megapixel cameras in a phone, and so we've come a long way.
And if you ever actually wanted to print your photos out, those are more than good enough for most
Yeah.
pictures.
Well, what
God,
it comes down to is not the megapixels; it's the lens quality and the flash and
True,
all that, too.
Well, again, if you're printing out, your printer has a max resolution and ability anyway, so you're not going to be blowing it the doors off it with a little guy anyway. You're right. It's meant device to device. And if for all those that you can't see what I was doing, I was referring to the iPhone.
As he points to the
but
iPhone.
when we use those standalones, we're obviously going to have that reproduced probably again at the. What do you call those film producers, developers? What are those places called?
Labs.
I used a film lab the other day for my pictures I took while snorkeling.
Really?
Very
Yeah.
cool.
What was that like? Did you have to go there?
Oh, it was horrible. I had to pay $20 to get these really dark photos that I couldn't even see from underwater with really bad lighting and no flash. So it was a rip.
Did you have to wait and pay
So it was
money
like the
too?
iPad.
Yeah, it was horrible. And I was like, why isn't there a digital waterproof camera yet? Like, what the hell?
There is actually.
Okay, well, they didn't sell it at the place I was going snorkeling.
Anyway.
Cases for cameras.
Anyways, it's interesting that like the cameras have come a long way on the phones, but there's actually some phone companies that are coming out with an actual camera that has a phone built in. So that's kind of neat.
What the heck?
Nikon.
Yeah,
They're going to
wait.
be the next big one.
That'll never catch on.
3 kilos.
Yeah, what are you talking about? A phone and a camera together? That's crazy.
What are they thinking about?
People won't know how to use it.
Yeah, it'll be
Next
a
thing
this
you'll say
big
it's
screen.
a personal computer in your pocket.
Next thing you're going to say is that there's going to be a web browser.
Net,
gonna use the
what?
web.
Email next? Come on.
Like I'll be able to get Wi-Fi.
Hey, this isn't
everywhere.
science fiction, man. Come on.
The future is now.
Actually, speaking of semi-science fiction thing, they've got this new technology out that you can take a picture with this camera and then decide what part of the picture will be in focus after you've taken the picture. Is that not? Yeah, after you've taken the picture. Now, what it does what it does is it takes 4 of the pixels and it does 4 focal planes when it takes a picture, and then you decide, oh, I want the person in front to be in focus. Nah, I'd rather have the tree in the background in focus, blah, blah, blah.
Who's doing that, Bob?
It's a MIT-style technology. It's very cool. It's not out yet, but they're trying to bring it to market. But there's another very, very cool...
Is it? Can I just on that one? Is that kind of like a PVR technology where you record ahead and then post-production after?
Yeah, there is software and stuff involved with it. If it goes to market as you know, in a year or 2 years or whatever, you know, you have this camera. You take a family portrait and you say, you know what, I want the background to be out of focus. You just click and it'll make the background.
So
go out of focus.
basically,
Everything will
maybe
pop
what
up.
it's doing
Very
is
nice
it's taking
concept.
layers of pictures and
It
it's
is.
taking focus.
It's 3 focal planes.
Okay, there you
Right,
go.
or 4 focal planes. But
And
that
you just
means
choose the layer.
But
They're all
if you have
based
a
on
20
depth.
but the problem is if you have a 20 megabyte camera, that camera drops down to a 5 megabyte. 5, 10, 15, 20, 5 megabytes per focal plane. Right?
Very interesting.
And then there's another company called Pelican that's been working on a similar process. And what it does is the description here. Pelican Images are largely interested in the slim factor because of phones for higher quality images on a relatively thin device. And what it does is it takes the pixels and it bends the light to the pixel instead of the so what happens now with a standard lens?
Isn't that called a black hole?
Yeah. So it's called a pinhole camera, I think was the original concept. Well, basically what it's doing is instead of the light being focused and then saturating like all these pixels, it's saying let's make the pixels bend the light over to this section.
Kind of reminds me of the Microsoft
it's very
Mind
very high tech
tab.
sounding.
Do you have stock on that too?
Pelican, if you guys want to check it out, yeah. So we'll put links in our show notes because it's reading about it is very very cool. And then there's also the ultra high definition cameras that take 2 or 3 gigabyte pictures. Very very cool. So basically, they're very good for landscape. You basically take a shot and then you can zoom in indefinitely, like a mile, and you get a shot.
Into quantum space.
It's yeah, okay, fine. And this technology is like 5 years old. They just couldn't. The thing's the size of a garbage can.
They just couldn't bring the cost
down. It's not something you can
down.
tote around. Yeah, it's like $150,000. But if you want for those family portraits, you want to zoom into somebody's cavity.
With all the affiliate
but
income
you
that
can do that
Bonnie's getting, she's going to buy one soon.
Yeah.
Or you can use camera raw with your regular digital camera, and
You can, but it's still limited.
But then you have to pay $1,500 to Adobe.
Well, it's not only that; is you got to pay like $90 or $120 for a 2 terabyte hard drive because that takes up a lot of room.
Sorry, digression.
Yes, please. I need to
and you brought up Adobe, which is one of my favorite companies to talk about. But
all right.
It brings up Apple's new foray into Final Cut. Did you guys talk about this last?
No, we haven't talked about Final Cut, and people have been trashing it. They say it's too much like iMovie.
Well, I've heard that.
It's too simple.
But it's not.
I know,
it
it's
goes,
awesome.
It goes to the high end at $299.
I know.
Plus another $100 for a couple of filters that you need, compression, I believe, and another one. But that price point
is
now
unbelievable.
Replaces every video editing program up to the very ultra high end. It fills that entire gap.
Oh, I know. It's amazing. I saw a demo of it. It's amazing. But before Twisted Magic has a heart attack, he just read something on his phone. He goes, "What? Can't believe he's chuckling. His face is all red."
Apparently, Blizzard just sent me an email saying somebody's trying to sell my World of Warcraft account.
Excellent. Well, find out how much it's worth and take it.
Well, it's funny. It's like, it's come to our attention you're trying to sell your personal World of Warcraft account. I'm like, I haven't played that game in 6 years.
It's a good time to sell it.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to under the license?
No, end-user license agreement says that that's not allowed. Like,
that
EverQuest
sucks.
used to have that sort of stuff, and people made a lot of money off that, but not anymore.
Your face is a lot less red than it was about 10 seconds ago.
He just realized he's not going to make any money. That's why.
No, I'm not trying to sell it. I think somebody's tried to hack my
hack
account
it.
and maybe got a hold of it. 'Cause
Well, there was a note here in my notes that AE got hacked.
EA?
Yeah, I think EA
never got hacked.
Yeah, they got hacked.
No.
Yep.
Nope.
Yep.
No.
Dropbox got. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Dropbox
I told you
definitely got hacked.
Dropbox got hacked?
Yeah, Dropbox got hacked. Well, actually, it was a
They
huge.
lost their password for a little. It wasn't too long.
Several hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
4 hours. You could put any password in, and it would open up any account.
You know, though, Twisted Magic.
Yeah. Oops.
I've been. I've caught on Craigslist recently several instances of people trying to sell their accounts, not just World of Warcraft, but other accounts that they've built up.
Yep.
Jackson, what's the one you play? RuneScape.
I don't play that anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, RuneScape. So people are selling really beefed up RuneScape accounts. Is that legit?
Nope.
Not usually, but people can get away with it. I mean, gold selling and stuff like that's been around for a while.
You just log in under their name and their password.
Nope.
I mean, what's the big deal?
Most of the time it is the actual person, and they'll pay good money for it. I mean, some games you used to get like $50 for a certain amount of money, and it's a good deal. You get PayPal or whatever, but
Because you've unlocked a lot of weapons and stuff like that.
and the other thing is Chinese gold farmers is a big problem that they used to have over there, where they're getting people slavery to
rooms and rooms of people
get gold. Yeah, but I mean, a a lot of this hacking stuff, I don't think EA actually did get hacked.
No, I might be misinformed.
But I do know BioWare.
Because I am misinformed most of the time.
The weirdest one I've heard of, and the one that kind of probably affected me most, was a server forum of 10 years old got hacked. That was for Neverwinter Nights, which is this old BioWare game.
Oh, yeah, I just heard about that.
And it was only 18,000 accounts compromised. And lucky me, I was one of those 18,000 people. So
I like my money back.
No, there was no money ever involved with it.
But you had to pay to get into the game.
You had to pay for the game, yeah.
Well, you should ask for that money back.
It's 10 years. Like, nobody... Who wants
it was
that
like
information?
$7.95.
I mean...
Well, they could have been practicing. Could have been practicing.
A lot of it. Like, LulzSec was on for, 50 days? They said they were doing their stuff for. Now they stopped, and now they're hoping Anonymous takes up their cause.
Jeez, Anonymous. Wow.
It's really the Illuminati, of course, that have hacked everything, and they're playing all our games at the highest levels.
Well, it's because they have nothing to do.
They've got level 14th prestige, those bastards.
That's gamification of the earth.
Oh, don't. Actually, it's a gamification of religious right-wing crazy people, isn't it?
Gamification of life would be how much money do you have in your bank account, what size of your house, do you have a car, do you have kids?
That's hackification.
That's gamification.
Wow. Really?
So you get a badge for each kid?
You get a badge,
the dark
yeah.
side.
Like, what did you call Andrew earlier? Master breeder status?
Yes. So Andrew got that. Wow,
and so Bob gets that too. I mean, anybody here that has kids, I guess, gets that.
Well, of course, you raised from Master...
Yeah. Bajoing. Oh. Yeah. That reminds me of high school. It's like you go to... Oh, never mind. Yeah. Yes. So I've got a new word for everybody here. Just
That's a good segue.
So how do you pronounce this one? Zeitgeist? Zeitgeist. I've been noticing in Twit you're using it. It seems to be the hot word in tech now. So Zeitgeist. In 1769, a herder wrote a critique of word Genesis seculi, blah, 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 a bunch of very difficult names to pronounce. Zeitgeist into German.
How did that get
it's a
in the
translation of Genius Scholi. And it means guardian spirit or of the age. So basically, it's the new word for trendy.
Yeah, right. Go look up the movie.
Oh, they made a movie out of a word? That's so
movies,
cool.
Yeah. It's all...
First there was the dictionary, and out came Zeitgeist. Big muscular
I've
word.
never made a movie called The Dictionary.
Yeah.
Starts with A, ends with
it's called
Z.
No, I think that was called Sesame Street.
Sesame Street was...
That was a series, though, wasn't it? It was one of those two. You didn't like Sesame Street?
Hey, what about
Teletubbies? Were you addicted to
Bunker
Teletubbies?
Project is brought to you by
What children's show, when you were quite young, what TV show did you like as a kid?
I don't remember.
Really?
Yeah.
They were that bad?
That creepy guy with the sweater.
Mr.
Rogers.
Mr. Roger. No, that's way past that.
I don't.
That was when I was a kid, yeah.
Okay, which one can you remember?
Do you mean Chris Hansen?
Why
don't you have a seat over here?
For me, it was...
That hurts, man.
For me, it was Star Blazers.
Wow, I thought it was the Jolly Green Giant, which is a Canadian
I get the
phenomenon.
sneaking feeling that
Rusty.
That it was...
Cross Superstars.
Jackson would have been into Pokemon.
Yeah, he looks like a Pokemon guy. Yeah, he's got the Pokemon outfit on.
I guess I do. But,
yeah.
that wasn't actually intentional.
Subliminal.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I wanted to hear from our German, what do you call those things? Maven, thank you. The German Maven with her white headphones on. She looks so angelic, doesn't she? Yeah. And so I wanted to ask her...
Our car Maven is playing Oregon Trail.
I'm just going to adjust their mic here.
Oh, Zombie Trail, is that what it is? It is.
I don't get your question, sorry.
So the question is, for our German Maven, what was the TV show when you were a child that you remember? What was it called? It must have a real German
Just speak it in German so that
he
doesn't...
Biene Maya. It's
Mina Maya. That's my two kids' names. That's amazing. Mina and Maya. Amazing.
No, Biene Maya. It's
Biene
like,
Maya. Damn.
Like Bee Maya. It's a small little bee. She is
Her
always
name's Maya.
Maya.
Cool.
Like my name as well. So.
And what does she
close
do?
To her. She's just having a lot of adventures with her friends.
Yeah. Was it a cartoon or like a dress-up
people? Yes, it was
people?
a cartoon.
Huh. Well, there you go. Now, were they really cheap with the backgrounds? They repeated the backgrounds again and again like the Flintstones used to do?
Yes,
Used to
yes.
drive me nuts. It's like, come on, buy some
There
background.
was
buy
this
some
crazy
background
little
artists.
famous song that went like it's still a very famous song in Germany. If you just hear the first 3 or 5 tones, everybody can sing with it. So.
Well, you know what? We're going to put that
But
in our
the
show notes.
Sesame
That's
Street,
so cool.
The Sesame Street was also very famous during my youth. So.
Oh, yeah, they were everywhere.
Anyway.
They were everywhere. What about Japan?
German.
Come on, what was Astro Boy?
I wasn't born in Japan, so I wouldn't know that. And I can't even remember.
Eric's awesome.
When I was young, I guess Black Beauty and
Oh, I remember Black Beauty and Little
Benji?
House on the
Benji?
Prairie.
well, that was the book. Oh, House on the Prairie.
Little House on the Prairie.
Oh
That-
yeah,
that was a take a
yeah.
TV
Well, that
show.
was when
This
I was
is
a
the nostalgia
that was
section.
in my early
Teens.
late teens.
Oh, okay.
I'm even earlier than that.
How about you, Bonnie?
Disneyland, of course. Mickey.
I don't think television was invented when I was young.
Yeah, what's your favorite radio show, Bonnie? When radio was still black and white.
Actually, we lived up in the middle of nowhere, up north till I was 12.
How up north?
Do you know where Bella Bella is?
Yeah.
Bella Bella, that's tropical.
I lived on the other side of that island until I was
Wow.
12.
She was so far north, she was in the tropics.
Hey, wasn't
Wow.
the whole town up for sale up there?
Yes, that's correct.
Did they
Yeah.
sell it?
Shearwater Bay, actually, which is, yep.
For
So
$6
somebody
million?
I grew up with actually bought it.
No way.
Yep.
So what are they doing with it?
They're making it a tourist place.
Cool. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
So you could back. I guess that was about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
The
Something like
whole
There was a couple of
town,
towns up
whole
for crap.
northern
They're like
town went for sale.
$5,000. It was a good deal. I almost bid.
Yeah, but it was a very small town.
All right, so
Well, it had a
back to
pool.
reality. Oh, what? Yep.
Oh, I want to weigh in
Whoop.
on the old time shows.
All right, weigh in,
Can
my
I?
friend. Yeah,
Can I have a
absolutely.
good
Way
time?
away, way away.
I'm Mr. TV is my favorite friend, my best babysitter, my favorite parent.
Well, that's why you wear a hat, isn't it?
My best my
He wears many
wife. I've
hats.
married my TV several times, and I just bought a new beautiful LCD, which I married again. So
You're eloped with.
when I think back, my fondest memories of TV as a lad were waking up in the morning and
Here it
with the
comes.
velvet paintings on the wall and the stereo cabinet, and every meal I had came out of a tin can, and I'd turn on the TV and sit down and relax to the Galloping Gourmet.
Oh yeah, Graham Kerr. Yeah, I
Loved
loved
Graham.
him.
I learned my
to
best
cook.
drinking techniques at a very
I
young
was like,
age.
a
from
little
that
sip
man.
of wine, cut
Yeah.
the onions, another
You
sip
were
of
lying
wine.
on
yeah.
the shag carpet.
Oh,
Probably.
I was
With the
I was getting
fireplace.
stuck by all the pins that you couldn't find. And then right after that came, of course, Ed Allen's Calisthenics.
Oh,
you get
Ed,
up, you
I
put your
remember that.
jumpsuit on.
Oh my God, that guy.
Put
he
your
was
jumpsuit
oh,
on. You
he was
get
a real
limber.
guy, very tight jumpsuit.
You take the afternoon
very
off. and
svelte young man.
You go buy all your tinned veggies and fruit, and then you'd come back in the afternoon, and that evening you get to watch Laugh-In.
Laughing was good,
And
yeah.
you'd
What
laugh
about
your
that,
butt
that,
off.
that Hollywood Squares? That was a good one.
That didn't happen for me. I
No,
wasn't into
no.
that. No,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I flicked
yeah.
right over then to
What was
Sonny
your
and Cher.
favorite? What was your favorite TV show when you were younger? You have to come up with the mic here, big guy.
My favorite TV show?
As a kid.
Probably Brady Bunch, the Monkeys.
Oh yeah, the monkeys.
Price is
Hey,
Right.
hey, we're the monkeys.
Now it's quite funny because he kind of looks like
People
somebody
say
from the
we're
Brady
messing
Bunch or the
around.
Monkeys.
Which one do I look like?
Davy Jones.
I agree.
The guys just went
What's
and
her
oh
name?
my God, I'm going to my
He's
haircut.
like, no way,
I'm
I
going to
was
shoot
Mickey
him.
York.
Brady Bunch.
Or not Mickey
chick
York.
name
I've been
was
ripped off.
Mar-
Mickey.
This is one I learned from.
Marsha.
Yeah, look, we're never
He's
going to
the
get
guy
another
that's
black
married
beer.
to
We're,
Eric.
you know,
He
we're
looks
going
like,
to, oh, man.
what is it, Craig?
We
no,
got the
Craig
Eric.
Brady.
Marsha.
The guy that's married to Adrian Curry. Yeah, Greg Brady.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, back
This
to
show
social media
is
on
gonna make
Black Bear.
no sense to the people
Huh?
listening.
Oh, Ian. Oh, yeah, Ian. What was your? Here it comes. Ian, what's it?
Favorite
Yeah,
TV
come
show?
right on the mic.
Favorite TV show?
Yeah, come
When
on.
you were a
You're
kid.
Something wasn't that something? My mother was a car because you're so into
My mother
cars.
was a car.
Car 54.
Car 54. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Cartoons,
Chips.
pretty much.
Chips.
Pretty much cartoons.
Yeah, but which one? Which
Underdog?
cartoon?
I like the sort of classic older cartoons.
Bullwinkle the
Transformers.
Moose. Bullwinkle the Moose.
Bullwinkle the Moose. No.
Yeah, was that the
What about the Roadrunner?
Oh
good.
yeah,
Yeah,
with Wile E.
Roadrunner.
Coyote, yeah, Bugs Bunny, yeah.
Yeah.
Daffy the Duck.
Yogi Bear.
But that was at the Hassan shop, the guy with the...
The Hassan chop. Now, this isn't what?
That was a rat. What was it? No,
Ratatouille? No, that was a new one. Wasn't
I know who you're
what's
thinking
his
of.
name? The rabbit and the rabbit and the hunting season rabbit.
Oh, Elmer Fudd.
Elmer Fudd. But then he went digging. The rabbit went digging for gold and got into this whole thing with gold and with Daffy Duck and stuff. It was interesting.
Oh, okay.
I just remember that Hassan chop thing. I don't know.
And 90% of our audience maybe picked up one of those.
This is just like our high-tech talk.
Well,
We're just into confusing
I was
people.
into Star Blazers.
I was into the Electric Playground, but that was when I was close
What,
to
17
my
or
teens.
18?
Electric
Yeah.
was in my teens.
It
But
wasn't
Electric
the-
Company was sweet. I loved Sesame Street though. Taught me how to count.
It was those Electric Psychotropics. Really, that was my favorite show. Awesome. Wow,
South
Electric
Park was
Psychotropic
pretty sweet.
show. Awesome. All right, so that was
Right.
a big word here.
That was like probably the biggest digression we've ever had.
No, we had a whole show. This is a complete digression.
Yeah, it was called the Digression Show.
Yeah. Okay, here's another word. Agglutinative. Agglutinative. So it means sticky or tending to join or combine. So agglutinative. It was used. The Google guys use that a lot. So if you have an agglutinative website, it means people kind of hang and stick there, and it becomes a community. Facebook is an amazing
Thought that
example
was
of an
called the niche.
agglutinative site. Yeah, you could.
Isn't that a niche
You could downgrade your vocabulary to a niche.
or a group?
Actually, well, this whole thing started because every time I call Andrew during the week, say, check, hey, Andrew, what's up? And he says, what's the word? So I got to come up with new words. So what was the word? What was the word I used with you this week? Egg.
Drunk.
Egg-diziest. You like that one, right? The egg-diziest.
Yeah. Well,
So
I like
does
this
anybody know what an
agglutinative.
egg-diziest is? Bonnie's not going to like this one, but egg-diziest, you must know.
It's an ant of a zeitgeist.
Yeah, very close. It's a stripper.
Like I said.
Yeah, a peeler is an egg-diziest. So it's it's great if you go out and you need to go to Club Orange at the lunch and stuff like that, have a couple martinis to relax. And so they says, what happens? Oh, I have a bad back, so I went to the digest.
Hey, what
So,
happened,
well,
what
good luck
happened to
with that.
the all the show notes that we were going to do?
Yeah. Well, look at I just used a word from the show notes.
Blackbeard.
See right there in bold. Yeah,
Blackbeard's
and
right.
try and mention Blackbeard and get money for it.
Here, let's do one that's not in the show notes.
botnets. Well, that's the whole show has been not in the show notes.
Okay, well,
except
this
for
one's
maybe
this
two-
one's more interesting though.
Oh,
MySpace
here
was
it is.
sold today for $35 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to who?
Justin Timberlake.
I know, it's hilarious. Yeah,
He's part of the
final
conglomerate.
spike
Yeah.
in their brand just
Well,
got
he might
totally
be-
taken
he
out.
might be representing
Justin
that.
Timberlake is.
I
No,
know.
he didn't buy it. He's part of.
He only put in
he's
like
in on it.
23 million or something.
Well, he bought it for personal use only.
Because it's his space now.
Exactly.
He saw himself in that movie. What was it called? The Social Network or something. He's like, you know what's cooler than $1 million? $1 billion.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. Now they're gonna.
That's real character acting right there.
Well, they wanted to sell it for $100 million. They sold it for $35 million. They actually bought it for $560 million.
Oops. You
But
know.
they actually shortly after they bought it, they had a sweet deal with Google, and they made all their money back. So
Yeah,
whatever.
it all goes. It's
No
all
big deal.
accounting, anyways. It's all funny money.
sold it to Microsoft.
Could they sold it to Microsoft? A&S? Yeah, I think Microsoft's out of well, they're not out of cash, but they've bought this thing called Skype, and they don't know what to do with it.
$8 billion, and then they're going to buy Nokia soon.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, and also Google's just come up with a.
no, they know what to do with Skype.
Oh wait, can we?
Zoom 2 coming? Zoom 2?
Yeah.
Oh,
Zoom
I have
5.
a question.
Yes.
Well, I just want to know, is there any way you could do any kind of demographics on age groups of MySpace and Facebook and all those different platforms?
Sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
How do you,
Everybody
how do
moves
you
to
Google?
Facebook?
I could tell you right away what the age group's on it. MySpace, nobody uses it.
Oh, that's not true.
No, Justin, I think
Justin.
he's about 35.
Yeah.
That'll be about
30,
35.
one person, 35 and a half years
The only
old.
people that use MySpace are bands and people that like bands. That's
Yeah.
like the age demographic.
Or
so
we're-
music lovers.
And internet
Yeah.
marketers
And
that just auto forward everything over to their MySpace page.
and like GIFs and putting songs on their profiles. Actually, Facebook's market is actually skewing more towards the,
The old
40-year-old.
Yeah, because a bunch of 65-year-olds joined. That's the problem. It's skewed a lot. They had like
Well,
a
they're like, what's
300%
the grandkids doing? Oh, this is awesome. I can live vicariously through them.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
But they're also awesome people and have tremendous buying power, and we love them. So.
Exactly. Be
But we
scared
talked,
of the gray market.
We talked
Be
about,
very scared of the gray market. If you don't,
Oh my
if you
God,
piss
they
off
own
the
the
gray
world.
market, you're
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The F
the
word.
gray market is.
the gray market is the one that will have the most buying power in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Well,
And
they
it will
already
just
do.
grow
They already-
larger
I-
and larger and larger.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, Bob's gray now.
Well, you know, there's
And I'm half
10,000
gray.
Zoomers retiring every day now. Every
I know.
day, 10,000. Over 10,000 of retiring.
Zooms.
The
Yeah,
ag-
exactly.
the aggregate
Close to God, they say.
the aggregate point size will be 14 point by
Oh, here it comes.
No,
Here
22,
it comes.
22 point size. The reason that tablets are so popular is you can zoom in. Hey, that makes more sense about why they're called Zoomers, because they have to zoom in on the page. Zoom in on the page.
Yeah, well, it's not
it
zooming,
has
it's pinching.
nothing to do with the things you collect off the street here in Vancouver too, which
Yes.
of course dry nicely and make a very nice tea.
Oh,
Zoomers.
SFE.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Nah, yeah, you just, never mind. I'm not going there.
But actually, okay, so Twitter is actually supposedly more female skewed, and between the ages of 30 to about 65, I think.
Wow, so be careful.
So, yeah.
You never know who you're talking to.
Really, it's true.
They are your friends. You're on Facebook. They're your friends.
Yeah,
You're
so,
supposed to
so
know who you're
James,
talking
where
to.
do you find all this,
Yeah, right.
these
I just bought
statistics?
mine
On Twitter,
On Twitter, too.
Online. There's all kinds of information online you can get statistics, and they release statistics all the time. So if
Okay.
you're interested in that,
The
you can
big-
look it up on Google.
Actually, what I would say, the biggest tip for people who want to get statistics on the internet is always put the caveat infographic.
Yeah,
because it
infographics
really
are amazing.
simplifies it so you can get what the statistics are. Because let's say like
picture's
46
worth 1,000
trillion
words.
things and 500 billion that and 32% of this and that. And you go like, yeah, you can't get it. But what it is a graphic artist will take that information and make a nice graphic representation of what those stats mean so you can actually comprehend what those numbers are.
and some of
That's
them
all.
will actually make it into
And they're fun
a storyboard.
to put on Facebook.
Like showing the
It's called an
prevalence of social...
infographic. There's Satomi.
Infographic, yeah, infographic, yep. They're
Like
very-
that, like the social media map, where they actually made a
You
map
did
of the
one
world.
Well,
They communicate great.
today Twitter released a map of showing the worldwide tweets.
There
That
you
was
go.
quite interesting. It wasn't an
Ah.
infographic exactly, but it was.
Oh, it was a
was-
GIF animation thing. I saw that, and
it was
as
green and red and
yeah,
and
it would
stuff
say
going back and
how
forth.
Twitter grew from 1986 till now, and it
1986.
or whatever it started. 19,
That'd be awesome.
19 no, it was 1972. Twitter first
That was
started.
Expo 86.
That was 86.
I've been on Twitter since '82.
Since 1982.
I was just born then.
Well, I was buying a Schick blade, and they had it. Never mind.
Shit.
That was before they vibrated.
He needed. Right after that, he bought some Anacin to take care of his headache.
Oh,
Is that like
no.
aspirin?
Yeah. Close. It
That sounds
worked.
like a Family Guy joke. Anison. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what happened to this show, but
Wow. Okay, look, we're going to wrap up the show and try and get back on track.
For next
Social
week.
media, high tech, interesting information
All
Focus,
of it was
for
focus,
all our
next week.
listeners that put up with us.
Problem is, we're like going to be even more drunker next.
Well, I
week than
can
this
tell this
More drunk.
show, guarantee we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 or 8 listeners because that's the people that are in the room and they've already listened to the shows. Yeah, I heard the show barely between the drinks and the chortling. Anyways,
Yeah.
that's our theme music saying we're wrapping the show. Andrew, got
right.
any ending notes? Hey, what about
Hey.
those great guys at Wix? Bonnie's going to talk about Wix next week because she actually tried out Wix. She is a total Wix addict, and that's what I have to make a caveat there.
And
Wix
she
is so
said-
good.
She said a little while ago, she said, why would you do that when someone said Wix?
And now
You
she
can-
says, why not?
Now she says, why wouldn't you? Because it's so awesome. And if you want to call the Bunker Project, call 1-877-636-1474 and we'll bring you in the show.
Really, it's a real number. Try it.
It's a real number. Try it. Just try it. Just
Try
do
it,
man.
please.
Or
For
tweet at
God's sake, we're
Bunker
paying a
Live.
lot of money for the damn
Or
thing.
tweet at Bunker Live. And we'll
Yeah.
see you again next week.
Yada, yada, yada.